Good time zone, everyone. Happy Monday. Snowing here in Seattle. We're going to hide in my basement and play Magic, which is, of course, what we do when it's 73 and sunny. But, you know, it's still snowy in Seattle, so we're all hiding. Looks like there might be more this week, too. So it's Seattle and snow. Always comically scary. But hopefully we'll make it through. We're going to draft some Dominaria here today. Couple more days till Wednesday when we get to play in the preview stream event. Wizards of the Coast is hosting us streamers for a VIP preview stream for Theros Beyond Death, and basically on Wednesday we get to jam as much sealed and really constructed as we want on a Wizards one-day God account that they're going to let me have for the day, and I thank them for that. But we're not there yet. We're going to keep hammering away at Dominaria for a couple more days here. And before we do that, though, of course, I'm going to thank my sponsor, Card Kingdom. Card Kingdom are purveyors of physical Magic stuff. You can find anything you need for your physical Magic game, whether it's in the supply, sealed product, or singles realm. And you can do that at cardkingdom.com, of course. But if you use the panel down below my stream there, it links from here and lets Card Kingdom know that you heard the message here and went to check them out, and that you support my stream and that you're thankful that they're supporting this stream. They're really helping keep things going around here, just like all my subs and donators are. I really appreciate that as well. But if you want to help support my stream while you shop for all the stuff you need for your physical game, please check out cardkingdom.com. And thank you, Card Kingdom, for all your support. Really appreciate it. We do have 5,000 here. We're on our main free-to-play account. This is our primary account, the one we care the most about, the one that we're trying to have the most fun with and get the most resources for, while spending $0 beyond the $5 welcome bundle, which we bought many moons ago now. But let's jump in and see what Dominaria has for us today. Well, quite a bomb, and in one color that I'm not usually too interested in playing. Also, this is nice for our collection building. We only have one Teferi Hero of Dominaria, and you know, Big Tef is playable in bigger formats than standard. So I'll take Big Tef here. What are we passing? What do we think the bots are going to be doing? I think the next pick out of this pack is Vicious Offering, so we can keep that in mind. That and then Fire Intervention is pretty good. Nothing too good in blue-white, which I like. Weight of Memory is fine, but I would be really sad if we were taking Teferi and there were something like a Cloud Reader, Sphinx, and a Divination in the pack, because then bots downstream would end up in those blue cards. I don't think they're going to be hot to take this weight anytime soon, so it's a nice cut of... We can hopefully cut some blue here is what I'm getting at. Wow, I'm not sure what the bots took over this, but this is one of the great rares you can get for limited in the set too. A 4/5 Menace for 4 in black is already pretty great, and if you can build up to the kicker on Josu, you just win. I don't know if I've ever seen Josu kick. No, maybe like once. Like there are these times where the boards are so big and you're so far behind, you can kick Josu and still not have enough to defend against like a flyer or whatever. So like that happens, but generally it's kick and win. There's also Song of Frailes, but I like taking Josu here. Maybe we'll go black, one of these colors, splash the other one. Song is very good, Robert, but not only is this good, it's not like we're going to play Josu in any constructed format, so this isn't really collection building in that way, although it's fun, you know, it's collecting if you like 4Xing, but I just think for power level we want Josu over Song right now. Third rare for us to consider, but it is, looks like Arena and Dominaria are finally shipping me the cards to kind of force me into main white. We did that actually before. We had a first pick Lyra that put us in white main. But with Sarah Angel, as you know, it's excellent, right? Sarah is still great. So especially in a format where flyers matter. Although she tends to get matched in the air, like she's nothing special. Excellent, maybe strong even, but like there's a lot of 4-power flyers in the air in the set, and you've got Big Spider running around, so sometimes she runs into the Big Spider, but she's still the best card here. We could maybe take a Syncopate or whatever, but I'd rather try and wheel that, and we'll take Sarah. Whisper. Haven Sentry is fine if you are in white. It's, again, you know, sometimes you just put flyers in the air, and if they don't have those spiders, you just kind of win with them. But Whisper, yeah, Whisper getting back Sarah or Josu seems pretty sweet, and it's in the better color. So let's keep taking cards in the better overall color. Yeah, it might be black-white historic, but I don't see, you know, so far there's no historic payoffs. We just happen to have some legends. Here, I like, wow, nothing. Like, literally nothing. Maybe a Befuddle is the best card here. Evangel. I guess I'll take an Evangel. We may end up splashing the blue, so why take a Befuddle? Let's take Evangel. We know it looks like we're going to be base black if we're playing Josu, so Befuddle's pretty replaceable and might be our splash color, so I'm going to take Evangel. We don't want to play this either if we can help it, but sometimes you just need to run some 2s. Here we could take, this is kind of a pivot point here. Syncopate leans us towards blue-black, potentially giving up on the Angel and splashing the Teferi off the white. Meanwhile, board the Weatherlight, you're talking about historic. Well, here's a historic finder, but it tends to not be very good unless you're pretty dense with legends, and just because we started there doesn't mean we're going to end there. I really don't like taking this here. I don't think it's an important card to what we're doing. I think the fundamental question is Syncopate versus Banalish Honor Guard, and whether we're heading towards base blue-black or base white-black. And I like Syncopate enough more than Honor Guard and blue enough more than white that I'm going to take Syncopate despite the presence of the Angel. This is the tough part. Like, if we didn't have an Angel, it'd be Windmill Slam Syncopate for me. It's the presence of the Angel that is the only thing that gives me pause. Yeah, Honor Guard does get a boost with some of the legends we have going. So yeah, that's the fundamental question. I am going to take Syncopate, though. I just think it's the better card, and it's still early enough to be using that as our tiebreaker. Weak packs in general here. Are we going to play an Unwind, a Slyn Voda? Which is more likely to see play? Are we going to end up in green and decide? Because, you know, we could find pick 8 had, like, if we took Corrosive Ooze and pick 8 had a Grow from the Ashes, like, green would be just as possible as anything else we're doing here. So yeah, we could take Slyn, but we have I already have what I want to do at 10 mana, let me tell you that. So I don't want Slyn. I'm going to take Corrosive Ooze on this weird hedge. Yeah, Unwind. You could take Unwind as a marginal playable, an unhappy playable, but I'm going to take Corrosive Ooze to hedge towards bailing to green if we do get something like a Grow next pick. The cost for hedging green there is just so low. There was nothing really good in the pack. Here's another Unwind we could take, you know, and here I just probably want a Candle. Don't love the Candle, but it is playable. We can take Invoke the Divine as well if we want to keep on the white hedge. But I think Candle goes in anything we end up with, and given how scattered we are right now and unsure of where we're landing exactly, I like taking the Candle and knowing we're getting a playable. Well, I'll take a Guardians. It's pretty unexciting, but it can do some stuff. Maybe they attack Teferi down to, you know, 1 or something, and we want to reset him, or we get Josu out, and then Josu is being blocked as a 4/5 now, but we bounce Josu back and kick him, you know, so there's that kind of thing. Hopefully we don't play it, but that's the type of utility it has that makes me want to hedge that direction there with that pick. Now we have a Scholar versus a Worm. Again, with the potential green hedge here. Scholar has no real purpose in this deck. I'll take a Worm. All right, Explorer. What a bunch of garbage we are collecting. I'm even going to take a charge because if we do end up in white, we could play this as a terrible combat trick. Our bomb colors don't seem to be open, but like, what is? Like, what if I... it's not like, oh, wow, there's this insert great white card here or something. Yeah, well, my curve is pretty high, but like the bigger problem is that we gotta, if you cut any two of the colors, our cards disappear. So my point being, we're low on playables, so we're just going to take anything that might construe as a playable here. Chain Whirler is gems, I think. Yeah. I played so much mono heavy red that, of course, I crafted 4 Chain Whirlers on this account. We do have Deathbloom, Thallid, Cloud Reader. Cloud Reader is probably my favorite card in this pack. I think it's the best card in this pack. Deathbloom close, though. Are we in for the blue? Is that enough of a, like, okay, we're doing blue? Because when we take Sphinx, it's basically becoming our blue Sarah Angel. Like, and Thallid, I think we are going to be black, so Thallid is interesting because it's a sure play. I don't want a second Whisper. I don't think Whisper is actually that good unless you're in Saprolings, if you or creating some other known steady stream of expendable bodies, like you have a lot of Skin Witches or whatever. But yeah, we'll take Sphinx here. A lot of rares being offered up to us this draft, but we're going to take Knight of Malice here. Happy to get a good 2 in one of our core colors. Blink is also good, but I do think we want to be black, although maybe that's my problem. We should think it, you know, maybe white-blue is an option, but part of what, I mean, we're missing low end no matter what we're doing, and I like that Knight helps with that, so I'm going to take it no matter what here. We need 2s, and that qualifies. Take Quende here for what? Why? I would rather just have the Trapper, I think, or another Syncopate or a Deep Freeze. Trying to figure out if we're actually white or not. This Sarah continues to wave, as does Teferi. It's not like we have fixing yet for Tef. I think we're not green. I'm going to pull the green to try to clear that up a little bit for us. I just don't think Quende's that good, and I don't think Trapper is either, unless you're being very aggro. Yeah, but what do we do? Does anything else have first strike? Like, I guess we have Knight of Malice, you know, that has, it's just not doing much except being a 2/2 double striker. So I think it's Syncopate or Deep Freeze, and I'm going to go with actually the Deep Freeze over Syncopate Long Ski, or do you want Long Sky? I don't know if you want the Polish or the English on that one. I guess. Anyway, we'll go Deep Freeze, yeah. It's not great removal, but it's not like we have a ton of removal here at all, so let's just take something. We have an expensive black rare that really wants some red, and we're not doing that. We could still take it just cause, but now we're in that blue-white place again, where really the 2 cards we want most out of this pack are the Reproach or the Journey Mage. Yeah, Hannah, what's the solution, though? We got to keep picking cards, so what do you want to take here? I'm going to poll this one. I'm curious where people think, because this is kind of a real choice here between pushing towards blue main or white main. And yes, we have, like, I don't really think that is as an important card, and this isn't an important card. It's playable, but it's not important. Syncopate, Deep Freeze, Cloud Reader, and Teferi are the blue cards that are actually like, all right, yeah, that's doing something, but Charge isn't important either, right? So I want to show what I think is important. Also, this isn't important. Yeah, this has just been a real rough draft, no pun intended, but like we can play some of this stuff. There are playables here, but in terms of important cards, and I'm gonna pull this too. Like this is our important cards, and unfortunately, there's not a lot of them for this point in the draft. So I just wanted to. We'll set that up, and now we'll go because you might think maybe 7 for this is fine given how stretched we are anyway. So Kazarov, I'll call it Sengir. We're gonna say Sengir, Reproach, or Mage. Yeah, 7 mana 4/4 flying that can get big when stuff hits in combat is not the worst. It's totally playable, but it's not great, right? Unless you have that chance at a red source. Yeah, I could have put Grun on the list, and you can vote for Grun if you want. If there's a strong write-in support for Grun, we can consider it. But I don't think our green is nearly good enough to really consider him here. Reset Press wants to tank to get a quick redraft. We never tank. We're going to see what we can scrap together. And also, we're only in pack 2, pick 4. This deck is going to be insane by the end. You'll see. Journey Mage is where people want to be on this one. All right, we'll take the Journey Mage, see where it goes. We'll keep Sarah in the pile, although she's becoming less and less likely to be played. I like a Windgrace Acolyte, but we're going to continue working on our 2s. And since we've kind of gone into the Journey Mage direction, getting a 2-drop blocking wizard that can help cast instants and sorceries ain't bad. I'm totally going to take this Coldwater Snapper because, as you saw in our draft Friday, like, you know, Snapper plus the Sarah's Wings, Sarah's Bless, you know, anyway, there's auras that go great on the Snapper that might help us close it out. Although it's not like we're short on win conditions. We have Teferi and Jozu, so maybe I don't actually need this. It is hard to answer. I guess there's nothing else here. And there's another Whisper. You want another Whisper over that? We're just not doing... This just isn't a great Whisper deck, is the thing. I barely want to play that first one right now. So I'm going to take Snapper. Even if we don't enchant it, it can do some stuff for us. Rescue, another Candle. This draft has been miserable. And I don't think it's been like... I think it's just... the packs are not breaking well for us. Divest. Yeah, I was looking at Divest. We'll probably pick up 1 before the end of the draft, and I don't ever really want to play 1. But Second Candle is pretty rough as well. Yeah, we'll take a Rescue for diversity in our crap. All right, well, this is a decent sign that Fungal Infection and Soul Salvage are still here. I don't like Chainer's Torment. I don't need a Divest. But I think I want to take the Soul Salvage over the Infection. I want to make sure we survive early, but now we do have Deep Freeze, Knight, Arcanist. You know, we have some stuff. So I do like the Infection, yeah, for that. But we have Sarah. I don't know if we'll play Sarah, but between Josu and Cloud Reader, I really want to make sure we have the ability to recur our good creatures. So, like, thank you for the host, Magic. Welcome. Hello. Welcome to your work week, Wizards of the Coast. People rolling in about now. Anyway, we're going to take Soul Salvage because another important sequence in this type of deck when you have Josu is knowing that you can run Josu out on 4, and if he gets killed, if Josu ends up in the graveyard in some way, you know that you have him back later and potentially back later to kick. And that is so huge for this type of... This synergy is so big for the deck that I just want to make sure we have 1 Soul Salvage. Yeah, Infection, important for what we're trying to do as well, but this is just critical to... having 1 of these is so critical to the end game that I want to just make sure we get 1. I do like another Arcanist over a Relic Runner or a Rat Colony. We are more interested in 1/3s than 2/1s at the 2 level. We already have an Explorer that I've thrown in the graveyard, or thrown in the sideboard. I will take a Paladin on the chance that we decide we need one of these, but I'm hoping not to play either. Well, Spider's too good here. I'm going to take Spider in case we end up splashing there. We really want to Skittles out of the next pack. Skitters helping us play Tef would be very nice. Abomination, not the worst 6, but we've already got a Snapper. Another charge. All right, come on now. Come on, packs. You've been pretty rough on us. We've drafted reasonably, and the packs just have not been there for us. But pack 3 Savior? Probably not playing Sarah, but still leaving her in the main for right now. If we get some lucky pulls on Skitter into Skitter, we could even consider playing a double white card. But yeah, more junk. More junk. A Deep Freeze, a Syncopate. The only black card in the pack is Evangel, unless you count the virtually unplayable rare. Even in this deck, I don't like it. I mean, we might, because there's nothing else to take here, but like, I almost rather just, Mike wants a Pegasus. You really think we could possibly head back to the point where we're playing Pegasus in this deck now? You would, yeah, I suppose this is a decent, draw on turn 10 or whatever. It unlocks a lot of attacks. We already have one Deep Freeze, and I really don't like it as the removal of choice here. I mean, at least we are trying to do some winning in the air. So I hate Deep Freeze if you're trying to win on the ground at all. But Fanatic Guru says this is an early white card, but as I was saying, it does have value mid-late. And what are we passing up? Just the Deep Freeze? Like, I don't care. We'll get the Syncopate on the way back. I'll go with our buddy Mike, see what he thinks. This is the removal I want. This is why I hate taking Deep Freezes in blue-black, because you want your Eviscerates, etc. I'm going to go back to this view, though, and take this Eviscerate over the Academy Drake, or this is kind of junky. We have some Historic or whatever, but we still don't want this. But this isn't really an early creature for us, Smock. I'm taking this because I acknowledge that it is a valuable draw on turn 10, not because we need early creatures. I don't consider a creature in your splash color to be an early creature. It's unlikely to be so, as much as we may wish it. Tetsuko is a 2-drop, but probably just want the Drake. Let's see. Yeah, we don't have much going on at 3. And this isn't really a Tetsuko deck of any significance. You like the Tet? I don't. Yeah, I'm gonna take Drake. What does Tet do for us that we're happy about? Drake comes down on 3 if we need it, and is a nice 7 if we get there. Blink, that's good to see. I'll play a Thallid Soothsayer in any black deck, but I don't need it in any black deck, not even the Saps deck. Teferi was pack 1, pick 1, yeah. Yeah, no Skitters for us. We gotta Gonna have to take some risks if we want to run Tef. We'll take Blink here. Compass, so we can play Tef? No. Here's the Arcane Flight that we could throw on a Snapper, but again, I don't think closing out a game is our problem, which is what you sign up for Arcane Flight and Coldwater Snapper when you fail to get yourself the Josu or the Teferi or something that can take over at the end of a game. Yeah, let's take Retort, get the hard counter. All right. Didn't find any divinations, but we'll take a late Dark Bargain here. By late, I just mean kind of pack 3. Get some card draw in our pile. I guess this draws a card. It's not what I mean by card draw. Do we want Evangel? No, we have an Evangel on the board that we might run in there, but I don't think we want a second one of those. We'll take another Befuddle. All right, here I guess is another Evangel we'll take. Oh boy, more Evangels. We get all the Evangels we want. I think I'm going to take Vault Progress at this point. No, we're not playing the Angel at this point. We barely know if we're playing Pegasus Tef. Probably not playing Pegasus. So we've got another Befuddle. We've got a Hammered Explorer. We've got a Guardians. See if we want an Unwind here. Or if we just want an Explorer. What do you go there for? Like, probably play 2 Explorers over a Whisper. Yeah, this deck is ugh. This deck is meh. I'm gonna take an Unwind. I'm gonna take this and hope to not play it. Not playing a second Unwind. Yeah, we may have to. I think we're gonna have to go with the 8-8-2 plan. I think you're right, Hana. Make this an 18 lander and accept Tef as a 2-source splash. Did that. We're looking at this. Guardians. Befuddle. Rescue. Do we play a rescue? We have enough we want to rescue? I don't think so. Hey, Nantuko. All right, there's some stuff I don't love in here, but nothing that's just outright garbage, right? There's just some, you don't love 2 Arcanists, you don't love a Candle, you don't love having to play an Evangel in 2. Befuddle is whatever, Deep Freeze isn't great, Unwind is a weak negate, but boy, this is a format that is all about some very, very important non-creature spells. It is worse, Hannah. Like, I mean, there's no question that a lower creature count reduces the general value of a soul salvage, but it's still playable in our deck is the important thing. What took you to New Zealand, Nantuko? All right, well, this is a build. This Whisper I don't like. But, yeah, Whisper is awful. What do we... Can I play like... I might even want Paladin over Whisper. Like, when are we activating Whisper happily? I mean, it happens. Like, we just didn't get any of, like, the true expendables. Like, the if we even had, like, 1 or 2 Skin Witches, I would like Whisper. That's nice, Mabinap. Yeah, I think we cut that. And here I can go to deck building. You can see that. Yeah, maybe Guardian or Abomination. Guardian is a 4/4, just isn't going to do much as an ETB. Let's go with the Abomination. We'll pay 1 more and get the Death Touch and the 5/5 over this ETB bounce that we're rarely going to use, I think. All right. Jozu was pack 1, pick 2, right? Then I'll go. It's not too spoilery to call this Jozu Mess, which is a great name. I actually, again, I try not to play these, but they're not as embarrassing as they look in given the meta, given the importance of non-creature spells in the meta. An Unwind on turn 13 is about like the best card for you to draw. You know, when like both players have 9 lands, that's when you want the Unwinds, because that's when the non-creature spells come out and try and take over. I mean, you get some big creature spells that you'll be sad not to be able to counter at that point in the game too, or whatever. But yeah, Unwind is a shrug, here's where we're at type play, but we're gonna do it. Yeah, Guardians can reset Jozu. We called that out. It could also reset a Teferi on low health that was going to die to an attack like the next turn or something. But those are pretty narrow use cases for it, and I'd rather have something a little generically better. Yeah, totally, Robert. I was happy to get the Dark Bargain late, and we're going to have to somewhat lean on cantrips like Befuddle and Blink to get us some extra value. Soul Salvage is kind of like card draw if you can get to that point in the game, but I hear you. Tef is card draw if we can get there. All right, so yeah, let's give this a shot. Obviously missing blue, but Oppo's going first, and we do have a Knight of Malice. And if we do find blue, we get a cheap Journey Mage. This is borderline, but the presence of the Knight on 2 is going to make me keep this. Hey, that's nice. Solve that problem right away. Now we have a 2/3/4 that I like. Either this, well, we're playing against the number 9 drafter, so I'm going to assume that with the Skin Witch, they probably have another Skin Witch. This is literally what that means to me based on that play. We could even just pass with Syncopate up here, but we're even, or let's actually, you're going to play Arcanist, and then next turn we can play Knight of Malice and have Syncopate up. Sorry you don't like it, Dreed, but what information are you after that you cannot see because of that overlay? Like, Should have Cardboard Live working. I mean, you can roll over the hand. Like, there's no information you can't find out. What's the problem? I'm gonna go. Yeah, we'll go Knight of Malice and then have Arcanist. Have Syncopate up because of the Arcanist. But what are you missing? It sounds like it's just bugging you, which is totally a fair comment, but I push back on the idea that there's any information that you want that you do not have because of that layout. You just want to see a little bit more of the art. Okay, that's cool, but like, you're not missing any information here. Tough balance to figure out how to use your screen while streaming, you know. Now let's set him back on this courser. Bounce the courser. They keep moving stuff around on their layout too, which changes things. All right. Oh, what did I do? Did I miss something? Why is everybody punting? I don't even know what I did. I guess you'll let me know. Oh, right, because it was the only white card, sure. Oh well. Well, we don't really want either of those, so let's push them away and look for our planes. And let's see. Yeah, we'll attack with the knight. I should have attacked first. I was distracted by figuring out what my other punt was and kind of made a, I mean, not a punt, but a bad sequencing here. This would be a much better attack if I had open mana. Now I got to think, if we give them Construct, they can make the Courser a 2/4. Do we want the Courser to be a 2/4? If they put all three on the Knight of Malice, we first strike the Courser, and then the other two take out the Knight of Malice, but that's okay. Like, we'd be happy to trade Knight of Malice for the Courser, and we'd be happy to trade Journey Mage for Construct plus Skin Witch, right? Except it's not that. It would be just one of the two. So I'm going to go Knight of Malice only. Thank you, Delicious. I'm not sure how you want your name pronounced, but I appreciate the feedback and the thumbs up. I'm scared of enough of the Witch that I practically want to protect, but we can't cast Hero Dominaria anyway, so we can just play Swamp, Explore, and although, boy, I know we're going to explore like a planes into our graveyard. Yeah, what's up with them killing the Sphinx? I was using that, but we're going to start with an attack this time. No need to attack with that. Fungal infection. All right. Blown out by fungal infection. It does that. It's a good card. I guess if they play a 6th land, we'll find out if they are in fact skin witching. All right, let's see now. We're going to go with ourselves. Good mill, a little bit closer to our planes. It doesn't really matter. I'm glad it's not. You don't want to add cards, add words that aren't necessary. I like forcing it with Homerid. There's no need to make that a May. Super surprised that the number 9 limited player ran out of Skin Witch on 2 against black. They could be kicking this and wrecking us right now. Although, of course, the Skin Witch did manage to eat a knight, so there's that. As it is, what are we playing lands to accomplish? I guess we're trying to get to Jozu, so we should keep playing lands. Unfortunately, we have no attacks in the face of Arcanist and are now significantly behind. We were doing okay before the Phantom landed. Man. All right, that's good. Do we use this on the Courser or the Phantom? Phantom can be double blocked, and we only lose the Explorer or the Arcanist. So I'm going to take out the Courser, which is the thing that continues to create game-winning scenarios for Oppo, and I'm going to do it before they draw. Let's just do it now. We could do it on their turn, I suppose. Perfect play is to do this on their turn before they draw, so that if they happen to have something in their hand to stop it, they at least have to spend the mana on their turn. So we'll do that. And we are looking to block here, and I want this for the other stuff. We're at 8, so we can't attack either. It's like both of us had a draft that produced maybe some bottom end that we didn't want to play. I don't think Sparring Contract is that great. Maybe there's something. It looks like they're doing black-white historic here, trying to leverage Phantom value and stuff. Man, if they just start getting the Phantom back, we're in trouble. But kind of plan A here is that they can't recur the Phantom. If they can, we're way up against it. But we had to take out the Pegasus because that can make anything a threat, and then take out the Phantom and hope that they can't recur it. Or blow us out with a trick here or whatever. Well, they didn't just leap down and play anything. I'm going to keep playing lands because if we get... And we can hold the 10th land, but we want to keep playing lands till we're at 9, right? So that we can at least have 10th land Jozu on the same turn if it happens. Also not looking to send in the Journey Mage here. I don't want to trade off. We may need to double block a Lingering Phantom again. At least these two, again, take out the Phantom a second time. Oppo found their Jozu before we found ours. Well, that's not a bad thing to find after Oppo plays Jozu, huh? I wish it would just show. Why did it make me do it this way? Oh, auto tap. Just a little bit more work on auto tap would be great. Just have it if it doesn't matter, if it could be anything, leave a mix. That's what I would tell, you know, that's the like one of the things the auto tap doesn't do that I don't understand. Because it just does the, okay, if it says, all right, the mana is meaningless, in the case where the mana is meaningless, reset, you know, show the most mix that you can, because that's what we would do as players, right? We would show our opponents the greatest mix of colors available to give them the greatest fear of possibility. And that's such a simple concept and such a baseline thing. I just don't understand why they haven't done that. So if they're looking to put a counter on probably actually the Phantom, a 6/5 Phantom. Well, maybe a 5/6 Jozu is pretty good too. Takes out the Snapper. We can't take this forever, but we can take it for a turn or two. Probably are going to attack with both here, but maybe they don't have a good attack with both. We put Snapper and Arcanist on Jozu. We put Journey Mage on Construct. We take 5, 6. If they attack with everything, we actually have a really rough spot. I think number 9 player, current number 9, is probably likely to figure out that an all-out attack here is what's going to be best for them. Unless they fear this Teferi, I'll put a full control bluff on here. They have to make their attacking decisions before that full control bluff is communicated. Oh, but there's a pause here, so maybe this will help. All I can do is hope that Oppo sees the full control, thinks it means that we have something in hand. I don't think the Arcanist tapping for mana causes a full control pause, causes a pause. So there's nothing out here to do it. I'm tanking a little bit on purpose here, giving a little bit of a pause. But if they attack all out, I think we're kind of just dead. Like, if not this turn, then next. Okay, that's really great for us. Well, the right number of planes is like 3, is what we want. But if we do that, we just increase our chances of not having the colors we need at the beginning of a game. Anyway, we got to try and block Phantom again here. The sad part is this is a 2-for-1, not a 1-for-1 like it was before. But I don't know what else to do other than take this out, hope it works, and either find planes for Teferi or action, right? That's all we can do. But the fact that they made that attack makes me think they're getting back the Phantom right now. Yeah. But it's all we could do. Man. Alright, Soul Salvage can at least get us the Journey Mage right now. That takes out the Flyer. What else have we got? Cloud Reader. Knight of Malice. Well, we're definitely casting this here Soul Salvage. And then we have 6 mana left over. Probably need... Is there, like, we can take 2... We can take... I think we need 2 creatures. I think we actually need like Arcanist and Journey Mage, and then we get 2 creatures out, and we get to bounce one of theirs, and we can even bounce their. Yeah, but Sphinx. I think we just die. Like we can't think about. Y'all are thinking about like this like later turns. I'm just trying not to die next turn, and I think we need to take 2 creatures that we can cast this turn, which means Arcanist and Journey Mage. I think this gives us the best chance. Remember, Jozu's got Menace as well. And I think we actually just have to bounce. We could bounce the familiar, because that's just getting in no matter what. But then we give him another reset on Phantom, which we might not be able to afford. We can't just take 2 in the air anyway. I guess we have to do it. We have to bounce the familiar to prevent the 2 in the air. All right, a lot of Hail Mary actions here, but I think we don't die, which is all we can ask for this turn, I think. Continuing to just try to get counters on stuff. I think we have to call that bluff now. Say, okay, you get a 5/6 Jozu. Doesn't change that much. We still put 2 things on it for a 1-for-1. Help, deck, help! Jozu's ready. We just need to survive one more turn because we have Josu on the top, I'm sure of it. Now I'm going to play the land because I don't want to get it skin witched in case we do find Josu. And I don't know, can we survive next turn? I'm going to pass and find out. But I think now literally the only out we have is Josu off the top for a massive ground force, but even then we probably go down to under 2 or less, and the familiar is enough to take us out, which would be prescient, because I talked about how like the only time I've ever seen a kicked Josu lose a game is when somebody had air pressure to make the Josu too late, and that would be exactly this situation right now if we actually top deck Josu and kick it. So I would like to kick Josu and lose for the lulz here at this point. Yeah, they figured that out. They've got to make that attack. We've got to make this block, and this block, right? I don't see how we can make any other blocks here. If we double block Josu and take 2, yeah. Maybe that was correct. But again, you know, with the familiar bringing back this, I'm kind of spinning wheels waiting to die. Also note we didn't even talk about the fact that they have Memorial to Folly. All right, there we go. We get to to ferry them. All right. We could play to ferry, but it wouldn't matter, so I'm going to scoop it up. That's the thing, Kruzica. They were just they had the inevitability in 12 different ways. Good job, Oppo. Yeah, that Phantom doesn't usually do that kind of work. I'm kind of annoyed at some of the cards we just lost to there, but a good opponent made good use of them. They had the land. That's what I was talking about. They had the Memorial land. Yeah, it was the Memorial is what made it all kind of moot. Well, we got our plains early. We don't have our swamp yet. But with turn 2 Arcanist and a Cloud Reader on the horizon, we'll keep it. We have defense early and stuff to get to. And there's our swamp. This looks nice. Actually start on Evangel now. I guess you weren't here early. I've switched my plan. I'm going to try to work up tonight a format overview instead of a full set review, Dionysus. But I need to stop promising things and phrase everything as intent, because my intents are earnest and genuine. My reality is a little more chaotic, but my goal is to draw up a format overview segment that we do on air tomorrow after the draft. I'll just play this now, whatever. I'll scare you. Maybe I'll get a chance to listen to more Luis and Marsh today, per Brian's comment, and then I can maybe also pepper in some counterpoints or thoughts on their review. Befuddle. Can we do anything good with that? I guess we could send in and offer the Evangel and see if they want to take the Envoy trade. Probably they just block with the Scout, but let's do it. Maybe they let us use the Befuddle for some value. Envoy probably attacks here. We'll go ahead and Befuddle to cycle, save some damage. It's fun to get a 2-for-1 with Befuddle when you can, but mainly I fill holes in my curve with it as well. You just want to cycle it through when you can. Don't need the island. Explorer, not bad with our soul salvage, but it's a little weak on the battlefield itself, so I'm going to pass it. It's not our, let's find Teferi, not Hammered Explorer, right? Soon we'll have a 4/4 Drake as well. Yeah, Funky, I mentioned that and thought about it, but I still don't think it's a reason to play that card, or to keep that card, given the power that's in our deck, lurking somewhere in our deck. No reach from Oppo, so we'll send that in. We're pretty light on defense against the large ground force Oppo has, but we do have Evangel on Protector, and we're at 20 life, and we're about to play a 4/4 flyer, so we got Soul Salvage, so there's a lot of reasons that we can withstand this scary-looking board. This is why we don't play this and don't like this. Gaia's Protector, they just spent 4 mana and traded for a 2-drop. I have occasionally seen this do some crazy work when they kind of built around it and backed it up with tons of combat tricks, but without that, it just trades down too much. Too easy to trade down with that card. Yeah, that would have been a good place for Befuddle, but again, I'm not gonna. I don't want to get cute with Befuddle, looking for sweet 2-for-1s when I have a curve to fill. We'll go with the Flying Sphinx, and then throw down a 4/4, see what they can do about it. They've got blue up now. I don't think you splash for Syncopate, but Oppo's playing some weird stuff here, so who knows? This might get syncopated. Also, they can use this to potentially even, like, make double blue and hard counter it. All right, so I was talking about, passing on we had some scries where it's like, oh, that's playable, but we pushed them down because we knew there was better in our deck, and sure enough, there's better. But let's eviscerate. If we eviscerate, we can't Teferi. What if we just Teferi and I want to protect Teferi though. Oh, we can, but we can if we spend Arcanist mana on eviscerate, but then unless we're leaving stuff back, then we're basically just suiciding Teferi out on the battlefield. That doesn't make sense to me. I don't want to get skin witched, but I'm going to actually just eviscerate the spider and attack. This actually just isn't a spot where I see playing Teferi being all that great. Like, we're in a commanding position if we just kill the spider and keep swinging for 7 in the air. I mean, you're cool and all, Teferi, but can you deal 7 in the air every turn? If not, your plan B. They would have very bad attacks and Teferi would not die, but then we're not attacking, right? Your plan, am I understanding your plan, Wolfsween, that what you wanted to do was stop attacking for 7 in the air to go into control mode with Teferi, as opposed to just pressing our advantage in the air and trying to win? Like, I don't understand why we would do it that way. It just seems like, in a sense, fancy play syndrome to play out Teferi, even though it's not the most important card. Blink is great. That I was going to play Teferi here, but now we don't need to do that. We're going to play Blink. If we find a land, we'll play Teferi. I mean, if we find a land, maybe we won't. I don't know. All right, well, are we going to lose to something? What kind of crackback could we lose to at 13? If they put, like, 1 counter on everything, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That would be Xaxes, but we do have the Arcanist. So I'm going to continue pressuring in the air. And now at least even we have protection against kicked Skin Witch. I like making 2 lethal flyers. Now we don't, now both of these flyers are lethal. We don't even need to bounce the spider. We can literally just attack past it for the win. Oh no! Should have sold my opals sooner. I knew they were going to ban that stupid thing. Is it banned in where are these bans, Buckeye? Are they banned in? Is opal banned in modern? Modern, ugh. That probably actually loses me some money. But it comes and goes in that way. Cool, yeah. Well, sounded like Opal needed to go. I'm just sitting on about 10 of them, I think. So I've lost 10 times whatever the price drop in Opal is. Keepable.
Some say I never heard of ya, a rap burglar.
Thank you for the sub, Doc. Appreciate that. 5-month streak, or 4-month streak. Really don't want to be using this removal at all yet, so really hoping to find some other action. I mean, Befuddle isn't exactly what I was talking about, but we can cycle it before we untap at least. So, if there were a way to win combat via Befuddle, I would hold it and try and get more value. But again, I want to dig. I want to dig. That's not a bad dig target. I don't think we need to eviscerate that or deep freeze that either. We're going to save Syncopate for their turn and drop a Cloud Reader that we hope beats Academy Drake in the air. I mean, $8 drop is just the beginning. I like, folks, if you want to know what cards are worth, you need to check buy list. Like, go and see what's happening to Opal on buy lists to understand its value. What was it buy listing for 2 weeks ago, and what is it buy listing for today? Yeah, it's all good, right? We'll keep them both in that order. Yeah, that's classic, right? Like, at times like this, places like CK are like, we're not buying this card that just got banned. We need things to shake out. So seeing an $8 drop in retail doesn't tell the story. Seeing a retailer like Card Kingdom say, we're not buying it at all, that tells you the story. Yeah, remind me between games, Mama. We can briefly talk finance if you want. Dead Sphinx. Frozen Sphinx. Unfortunately, this is opponent's creature, so we can't return our own Sphinx. But this is where I like... we can even pay for Syncopate here, so this is nice. But snap resolution, so they do not have Syncopate. Just bounce and go here. Blink? Yeah, Blink is in the deck. We could get it back with Blink. I don't know if there's anything else. I don't know if we have, like, sack effects. I don't think so. Teferi. We could put it in our own deck with Teferi if we wanted. Wouldn't be card advantage, but we could get it back. Retort, you say? I like Eviscerate here, save Retort, take out their Paladin, offer up everything here. They can trade their Drake for the Journey Mage if they want. Rudy generally knows what he's talking about. Some aspects of his style leave something to be desired for me. I particularly hate that he feels this need to make jokes about the male-female ratio in Magic like all the time. Like in all of his video notes, and it's just like, you're not helping that problem by constantly making that joke, Rudy. But that's an aside. In terms of his observations about the secondary market, I think he makes interesting, valuable videos. I see it as I don't care if it's about his viewership or about Magic in general. I just wish he'd stop joking about it, because joking doesn't help. Like, if it's his viewership, or let me tell you, him making that joke constantly isn't bringing the women into his channel, you know? I don't know. I should have attacked with Arcanist, so I was a little distracted. But looks weirdly threatening, huh? So we can let that happen and just deep freeze it. Or yeah, I'm gonna retort it. Yeah, it's a good summary. I mean, his shtick is a little polarizing, but the info is good. Cool. That's a good salvage. Not finding lands that we could use, but a good salvage. And this time I'll remember to attack here, and we'll go ahead and salvage back some friends. Yargle Bargle. All right, some mana. Nothing in our hand is castable by Arcanist, so we're stuck on 6. We can Abomination. I think I like just bouncing and attacking, although we could... yeah, I think we need to... I like putting down Journey Mage and then attacking, because we got this 9/3 that is a glass cannon. If it connects with our face, we're in serious trouble, but it's difficult for it to do that. But I don't want to be in a spot where if they remove the one thing we have that can trade with Yargle, then we're either letting Yargle eat something or taking 9. So by bouncing Yargle, we get 3 power on board, which itself can trade with Yargle. They replay Yargle, and then we can play Abomination or Jozu and have 2 things that, if needed, could trade with Yargle. Well, if card inflation is a problem, I can't fault anybody for buying the Magic cards they want to have and buying things they think are a good investment. I mean, it just is the nature of the market, I think. I mean, he's not misrepresenting that or anything, at least. So now we could tuck Yargle, and then that would... get rid of it. I think we would probably just deep freeze Yargle at this. Well, let's play this. If we 4, 5, 6, 7, so we can deep freeze and lich. Yeah, let's just do that. Last turn I played the Journey Mage, which they then offered. I think Deep Freeze Yargle Lich is a fine play. We could freeze the flyer too, but it can't block. And Jozu has Menace. And we can also tuck the flyer with Teferi once Teferi can't be smacked on the way back. I needed to freeze Yargle, because if we freeze the flyer, well, then we still have this 9/3 running around making life difficult. have more. Another offering. Yeah, I could tell from... You can tell just from their hovering what they're up to. Well, now we're going to Teferi and disappear that glider. And, well, we have 10 life. We could also just take it from the glider and play the Abomination and actually have a good crackback. So, yeah, I'm going to play Abomination. They can hit us again with the flyer. That's no big deal. They're top decking now beyond that, so... What did we have that traded with the flyer, though? Or traded with Yargle, great god. You're talking about trading with Yargle. We did not have a Yargle trade on board. Unless you wanted to trade Jozu. Yeah, I didn't want to trade Jozu when there were other options. Well, that's awkward. What a weird thing for them to have. It's like the perfect card. But actually, it's a forced block. If we Teferi and bounce it. It means like we're using Teferi as a bounce spell. But it makes life rough for them. We're going to do it.
Sorry I'm late.
It's a race.
Reverse.
And if they want to take out Tef, now they've got to go... and this is a forced block. We can either take them to 1 and let them eat the Arcanist, or just attack with the Abomination and let them potentially stay at 6 but chump with the Paladin. I'm going to just attack with the Abomination, so I think they would just go to 1 and eat the Arcanist. We'll play our own. Second one. Is it, yeah, I could have bounced the Deep Freeze. I didn't really think about that. Haven't played with Tef much, actually. Should read my cards. Decent line gets us there, but yes, I forgot. I was thinking in terms of creature bounce. Yeah, I'm not sure what was better, but I certainly didn't even think through the possibility of bouncing that enchantment. All right, just quick here. I don't even think I'll put this on YouTube or anything, but Mama was asking what we're talking about in terms of well, do you have a specific question, Mama, or what am I? Let me scroll up. Like, basically, I don't know if you're interested in hearing about the impact of bannings or the buy list. You know, how to properly value cards based on what you can research in the secondary market. Like, you ask me a question, Mama, and I'll help. Okay, checking buy list. Yeah. So a lot of people, this is what classically happens. You hear this in draft a lot, or you know, someone drafts a Teferi at their store, and currently Teferi's Card Kingdom is selling it for $25. And people say, all right, I opened $25. I got 25. No, you've got a Teferi. If you want to turn that Teferi into cash, you have to sell it. And the best way to sell stuff magic-wise is to look at the various buy lists out there. There are buy list aggregators you can find. I'm not kidding when I say Card Kingdom is generally the winner. There are a handful of other outlets that often compete with Card Kingdom for buy price. But my point is that the true cash dollar value of that Magic card in your hands is not what some online retailer is selling it for. It's what the online retailers are buying it for. And so if you really want to assess the value of your cards, look at the buy prices, not the sell prices, because buy prices are what you could get by turning it around in a heartbeat. The other thing to remember though is that like even selling stuff via buy lists has costs, right? You need some kind of box, you need to ship it, you need postage, that kind of thing. So you need your time. So there's all these other factors that go into it as well. But I just mainly wanted to answer Mama's question about what a buy list is and how to use it if you're trying to assess the value of a card, because it's the way more important metric than what somebody's asking for it. Someone's retail price is not the story of the value of a card. Robert likes the logo. That was Oni Spumoni, as Brian pointed out. Haven't seen Oni around here in a while. Must be he's a busy guy. He's just hard at work, I'm sure. Okay. Well, answered that question from Mama. Let's get back to it. Yes, that's what I mean. One of the reasons I can do so, like something I do for Marshall and for Adam, basically anybody who trusts me really can do this. If you do, you can do it. Send me your cards. But basically, so like Marsh gave me a box of cards. He didn't even know what was in it. He's like, this is just my chaff. Here's like 450 chaff cards. And then I am able to go through and I looked at all 450 cards and basically mostly just buy listed them to Card Kingdom. But then a handful had good margins for me, so I listed them. But anyway, it's a great benefit to me that the location that gives the best buy prices in the industry is a 3-minute drive from my house. So I can drop in on Card Kingdom and just give them a sell order without having to ship or pay shipping. So it's nice. Should have kept them really, but I needed the money at the time. Oh my God, as a longtime collector of a lot of things, I think it was the mid-90s sell-off of some of my amazing Silver Age comics that is the greatest regret in my life with that statement, Zebra. Should have kept them really, but needed the money at the time. Oh my God. Daredevil #1. Oh my God. I had a Daredevil #1 that I sold in 1995. Ooh, Guru might win. Who, Mama? My Daredevil #1 or Guru's Black Lotus Eye? Black Lotuses. Yeah, Ballard location is great. Anyway, let's get back to playing. Sorry. I love talking to you guys, though. Hey, Pope, what's up? Fnatic Guru had it all figured out early, but then blew it. Blew it. Sold it all. Or was that somebody else? I can't remember. Oh yeah, no, yeah, he did. Where'd you close, Pope? Oppo Impulses, Acolyte, okay. Well, I was going to hold up Syncopate, but we'll play a Knight of Malice instead. Have Syncopate for turn 3. Hopefully Dark Bargain on 4, or possibly Blink. Alright. Land is what we wanted to see, and an island specifically. Now we have this beautiful Syncopate for whatever they try on turn 3, followed by a Blink for turn 4, or Bargain if they don't give anything blinkable. So great sequence setup for us here. Well, it is a Sonic. You can understand them rushing. We're any of them spiky hedgehogs. Also like to see Oppo attacking with the Llanowar Elf. And doing nothing on their third turn. Oh, Guru. Oh, the tales of early Magic transactions are just heartbreaking. I'm just going to syncopate this. I think that's worth it. Play an Explorer here, but I actually like Dark Bargaining at the end of their turn if they don't offer us a blink target and getting the Abomination out sooner. That's a good blink target. We'll do that. I want to hear the person who's like, "Yeah, I bought a Lotus for $10 in 1994, and I still have it." I just want to hear that genius. All right, we can go Arcanist, Explorer, Arcanist, Dark Bargain, but Abomination actually threatens to trade with this thing, and we are the ones applying pressure. So I like Abomination. And then we can actually potentially just attack with it next turn. Maybe we'll Dark Bargain before attacks to understand the situation fully. Yeah, I think I'm going to main phase Dark Bargain here to get a better understanding of what's coming up. See, like, this Deep Freeze is important to know about, and the Academy Journey Mage. We're going to take both of those. And we'll just deep freeze it right now. I wouldn't call Teferi the deck plan. Teferi is simply a powerful card worth splashing, but I wouldn't call it the plan. Nemesis CW, good to see you. That's my cousin Ray right there. I'm gonna mod him up. How you doing, Ray? Wow, Bells and Lock. Can we get around that? I guess we can keep bouncing the Bells and Lock. Let's see, we bounce it here, or maybe we, actually, it's going to try and eat, maybe they'll just have to try and trade with, I guess they're going to block, though. They're going to just chump the Abomination, right? We do have both. Oh, no, not if we... 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I guess we bounce it and start there. and then maybe befuddle next turn, but this gives us a good attack here. Play the Arcanist, getting pretty wide here as well, such that Bells and Lock we might just be able to get around both of them. I mean, Abomination is must block. Bells and Lock, I guess they chump the Abomination with the Worm. They eat the Journey Mage with the Bells and Lock, and then we get in for 3. Or they try to eat, but then we befuddle and it lives. Oh yeah, it does damage, doesn't it? Yeah, maybe we made it so they can't even play it again. But they could risk it. But they don't have... Yeah, okay, that works too. Same basic deal. Attacking with everything, befuddling. If they try to eat. Unwind, set to come through for us and protect this win. I don't think there's a creature-based out. I guess they could play a ton. We're all on the ground, so they could do a kicked... even that's not a creature, though. It creates creatures, but it is not a creature, so we could even unwind a Sapperling Migration. I guess since they might find a creature, if we just unwind the spell, unwind the. Also, it looks like an effort. You know, they're digging, so let's prevent their dig. Hey, I've splashed me a divination in a Sultai deck. You got it. Yeah. East wanted to just let it go. I don't know. I figured I couldn't come up with a creature they could find, but that felt like we should just use the counterspell on the thing that was a non-creature while we could, because they were clearly digging. That's funny, Mamanap. Robert, prevent the dig there simply because we had a spell-only counterspell. If we had just like a hard counter, like just a cancel there or something, then I would not have countered it. I would have canceled whatever they found. It was the fact that our counterspell was narrow. In that case, I would have let him draw because they were pinched on mana, and if we'd had a hard counter, they would not have been able to deploy enough to stop us. Need some land here, but we got a turn 1 Evangel. Or sorry, turn 2 Evangel, and then just a couple lands away from some other good action. Didn't find it, but we found something we might actually be able to deploy usefully on Oppo's turn. It's fine. They trade their 1 drop for our kind of weak 2 drop. And that's fine. The real issue here is whether we get some land. Little trouble drawing, but significant trouble playing. But that's what you get when you make a 2-land splash. Oh no, Chainer's Torment. I'm going to let it happen. I don't even care about counter. We could have syncopated that, but I don't care about it. We have a blink. All right. Doing it now. Actually playing stuff. Could still use some more mana, but we're going to sit here on this Drake and try and block the Paladin. Could bounce the token now. We could get greedy and try to find a... Well, actually, got to syncopate Yargle now. Still try and trade with the Paladin. Hope we find ourselves an island. Island is the perfect draw now since we can bounce... Blink with Kicker is the dream. We have Blink, no Kicker if we have to, so... We'll be prepared for that. Hey, we must have done something right. Must have done something right. Anything that at instant speed can give protection from. Obviously, black and white can't counter the blink of an eye, but can we wait until they maybe try something? I just don't want to lose to, you know, protection from at instant speed, but they didn't have protection in this set. I don't think there is. All right, I think we're good. Prove me wrong, somebody in chat, that it's wrong to just wait here. I mean, we're at 14. Maybe they'll do something like try to aura it up or go for a win here. I mean, they could have gone for an Adamant Will win or something there. That's what I was playing to consider, but I just didn't want to play myself into the graveyard by not thinking about the right set of possible responses from Oppo. Teferi on an empty board seems, you know, okay.
Keep up the pace.
If we'd drawn a land, I would have gone Arcanist, Journey Mage, but without the land, we can try and draw it. Let's Teferi and see if we find a land.
We need to move quickly.
Hey, we did. All right. So let's do that play. Yeah, that was a great kind of desperation question mark soul salvage. I don't think Oppo was under that much pressure. I think I would have waited in Oppo's shoes to get full value out of soul salvage. But hey, it allowed them to at least try and pressure Teferi, so maybe it worked out, but not like they knew Teferi was coming. Yeah, I suppose I should put up double blue. Well, you could put up double blue to represent the, I should have put up double blue to have the retort, absolutely. I was not even thinking about this cheaper cost. Good thing I didn't really care about countering anything this turn because we have such good board control. I'm gonna look for more land.
You know what? I'm not done yet.
Found more land. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We'll keep the retort up this time when we untap, but we have 7 to spend. We can do Deep Freeze. Let's just do Cloud Reader probably into Arcanist. Unwind is, yeah, Unwind's keepable at this point. This is what I mean. Like, this is pretty weak. Negate is a kind of a weak spell, but this is all right. Yeah, exactly. I did it on purpose. It was to leave them guessing. Danitha. Do we care about Danitha? I don't know if we care. But she does have lifelink and stuff, but maybe that doesn't matter. Yeah, I don't think we care. Let's save the Wizard's Retort for something that could lose us this game. Yeah, here I'll move since we're on a Planeswalker game. Yeah, I guess we retort that. Although we could just withstand it for a turn and deep freeze it, and then it becomes a 1/3. It becomes a 2/6 on the ground. But we're trying to win through the air anyway. I think we just retort it. Yeah. I wish we could punish auras differently than countering them, but that's worth a retort. This is fine. They can take a big chunk out of Teferi to prevent the ultimate. But even with an Adamant Will, they don't kill him. And even with an Adamant Will, they don't kill Cloud Reader.
Time for Plan B.
Nah, Tef, we're still good. Plan A in effect.
Hold that thought.
We keep playing land. We've got a Dark Bargain, lots of action. Definitely sending Sphinxy. And then where are we at? We're at 18 cards. So we have a lot of cards. We're not in any real risk of like accidentally milling or anything. And we get to keep Unwind and Dark Bargain and untap too. Oh, too bad. Jozu and our Soul Salvage. So we don't get Jozu this game, but I think we're doing fine. They do have Folly for a creature, but they only have one black right now, so they can't activate their Folly. What do we actually want to trade for here? I think it's the one of the Arcanists. I'm gonna try this trade. Got Unwind to stop anything tricksy that they might be looking to do here. This is why I don't like these 4/2s for 4. Looks like we may get away with trading a 1/3 for 2 for their 4-mana creature. And we go for the bargain. Go shields down if they have some sort of instant response here, but got a bargain while we can. Oh, I guess no, we don't. We have never mind. We We do have it. We have the Arcanist mana. Sometimes I forget about the Arcanist. Funny that a Dark Bargain would cause them to scoop it up, but okay. I could use a little bio break, gang. Can you give me a few minutes? Maybe I'll make some more coffee, and we'll get back and try to make our way to 7 wins. Fine start to this event. So, be right back, and hang tight. We'll play some more. Why isn't the additional cost sufficient to allow these cards to hit players or planeswalkers or players? Could just be a balance thing. Maybe it started there and they're like, oh, 5 to the face actually turns out to be too good. But it just fluctuates. I mean, you see Hearthfire? Hearthfire did it the way you wanted. You know, we're gonna keep this. No blue yet, but we got Knight and Evangel, so we got stuff to do. A lot of times why didn't they make this better, or why did they make this so good when it comes to limited specific cards, stuff that's clearly not being aimed at constructed, is just the nudging of power level that happens as you develop a set for limited. It's like, I know it's not a satisfying answer, but the answer of why is because the play design team felt limited would be more fun that way. Classic. So if they attacked, we could threaten trades. Do we want to trade here? We don't really have good we can't eviscerate their Knight of Grace. Evangel can't do anything on a board that has a Knight of Grace on it. I think we offer just because then actually playing Evangel is a relevant play. No, these knights don't have protection. They have hexproof from, and hexproof from means can't be targeted by spells of that color. So, yeah, they might not block. I wouldn't block. We're the ones that are, wow, it is a bold block because all we need is like, well, I guess we need a white trick. So they're like, well, the black tricks can't get us, so maybe it'll be fine. But I like that trade. Then this Evangel has the potential to be relevant. We'll see if it was. Self-jump. I know what you mean by self-jump. So we could eviscerate that, but we're hopefully going to get a Coldwater Snapper as soon as we find an island. That's going to hold off this just fine. Let's save eviscerate for a better threat. We only have 2 planes in the whole deck, and it's for our 1 copy of Teferi. And other than that, it's a straight Dimir deck. I get it. Thank you, Robert. Thought you were talking at me. Oh, I see. It was relating to his experience. Sure. Okay, we got our island for eventual snapper, and sad to have to use an eviscerate on the Chainer's Torment token, but we will if we have to. Ideally, we find some bounce before then. The Magic community is a little higher on Chainer's Torment than it should be, I think. Mostly, I punish this card, and then on sometimes it's actually beaten me. You know, sometimes they make a freaking 12/12 and it gets you. But most of the time, I have some sort of answer for it, and it's a big, long, drawn-out lose 12 life for Oppo. Well, we can't keep the Unwind up by playing the Snapper, but the Snapper is such a good blocker here, we're going to go ahead and do it. Their plan A, of course, is just that Chainer's Torment gets there. Wonder what this means. Let's see, if they've got Adamant Will on the Knight of Malice, what could it, what is this, folks? What instance and sorcery, what instance do we have to worry about that in the context of a hexproof blocker? Could be 2 tricks. Yeah, it could be Eldest Reborn. That's interesting. That's very interesting. Maybe it's Eldest Reborn. I love that thought. I think we just take it all, actually, because then we get to untap with Eviscerate for the 11/11 and then Unwind for their turn, and we can make blocks next turn with Unwind available. I'm not even going to block the Knight. Although, yeah, blocking the Knight with Coldwater Snapper preserves... they'd either have to double Adamant Will, and if they have... and if they're setting up a... the Saga, we still have both creatures for that. Yeah, there's not really Death Touch Pump that I can think of. I think they need 2 spells here to punish the Snapper block, so we're going to make them have 2 cards. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they'll come up with a 1-card answer here, but my memory of the format says that to punish this block, they need 2 cards, and we're willing to trade the 2 cards, so... They had it, but like, okay, we got them to use 2. We were right about that much at least. And now we're just going to Eviscerate. Unfortunately, we don't have Wizard's Retort up, but we do have Unwind. And we're a little bit up against it here. I mean, we have the Unwind, but they have 5 power that we can't block currently. So we really need to catch something with Unwind here and then draw something else. And I am not blocking here, so we're going to attack. Come on, let us unwind something awesome. No! Now we need help, help, help. Not the help we were looking for, really, given that we have to play it, and then it really taps down. It taps our only island. I think we're going to lose this game, unfortunately. But we'll play this out. We won't die next turn. We have... Arcanist on Knight of Malice number 1, Evangel on Knight of Malice number 2, take 3, go to 1. Problem is Oppo doesn't lose any creatures and presumably adds to their board, putting us at 1 and them with a 3/3 Menace and 2 2/2 First Strikers, possibly 3/2 First Strikers if they find a white card. So we're all but done for here. Can't even think of what we could draw after surviving this turn to help us stabilize. We're way too far behind now. Sorry you couldn't... I mean, really hurts my soul to not punish a Chainer's Torment double blessing deck. I don't think any of these cards are good. And this card isn't good either. So we're losing to some cards I would try not to play in this format, but, you know, magic is magic. And unfortunately, with the Triumph of Gerard, it's working out for them because now we don't even have the bouncings we were hoping for. So we're just... we're just chumping and losing. GG Oppo, but I'll take you on anytime you want with that pile of cards because I think you were running some suboptimal stuff. I am too, frankly, but I think Oppo had a little more suboptimal going on than we do. Yeah, I'm not denying my own. You know, sometimes you play suboptimal stuff because that's what the draft offered you. But I don't think there's any real justification for running 2 blessings. That's a bad card, man. That's just a bad card. Need some land, but other than that, looking good. That's fair, Mike. And it seems like that was their strategy, but still, it's not where you want to be, right? Still pretty high risk. I mean, yeah, a combat trick gets better with first strikers, but it's still a combat trick with all the problems of combat tricks and the risks therein. Right on, Cephas. Glad you love it now. Funny, even if we don't find any more land, if we keep this Arcanist and this Arcanist, we can at least get the Dark Bargain going. Hey, but we found land, making it much easier. We could Dark Bargain now, in fact. We could keep a Wizard's Retort up, along with Dark Bargain. Yeah, I like that. Let's take 2 from the Drake to be able to have a counter spell up and be able to Dark Bargain if they don't have anything we want to counter. Tiny Little Dragon, the only reason to play Dominaria on Arena is if you are trying to build a collection for Historic or you just love the format, and that's kind of where I'm at. Now, do we want to counter Rona? Rona's pretty clunky. Eventually, Rona tapping for 4 and exiling stuff and casting it can be oppressive, but I don't think we care. I care more about Dark Bargaining to find a swamp to get Jozu going, and then it's like, okay, Rona, that's cute. We got Jozu, what are you going to do? So I'm going to let this happen, and we're going to Dark Bargain. Yeah, the only reason they're even offering Dominaria Tiny is because it's so popular as a draft format. They generally don't offer expired formats, you know? Oh. Actually, I just want both of these lands. We're going to pass the Befuddle and take 2 lands. And yeah, we'll Josu here. Yeah, good idea, Tiny. Save your gold. My advice to anybody just joining Arena who wants to build a collection for low investment, and you know the way to spend your resources is to not only not go for something that's already rotated, but to avoid last year's sets too. Like right now, you should really be focusing on Throne of Eldraine and the upcoming Theros, because then when all of the Ravnica stuff rotates out this fall, you will have focused on the stuff that's still relevant for another year. Yeah, we're going to get a Drake kicked eventually here, it looks like. Oppo's stuck on mana, good for us. I'll go ahead and play the Plains now, though. That's the way to do it, Tiny. I love it. We can't play the Arcanist. We can't play anything here without giving up our ability to have the retort up other than the soul salvage, and there's nothing to salvage, so we're going to pass, sadly pass, with Wizard's Retort mana up. $31K gold is pretty good. That gives you 6 drafts for free. And those 6 free drafts are going to lead to some gems that you can further use to draft. So you got a 30K gold is quite a string of drafts you have set up. We are going to retort that. Yeah, we're going to retort that. Ooh, and Journey Mage is fine. Although, I'm not let's see, they don't have anything to get back with Ronus yet. Trouble with Journey Mage is that gives them something, they can work towards a kick to Drake or rebuy on Rona. But either one of those is no biggie. But I think we want to start with an Abomination anyway after we attack. Maybe we'll find a better thing to bounce. Yeah, Dragon, you kind of ended up doing it right. I don't, if you like limited, and if you're, and I don't know if you know, maybe it sounds like you're newer to the game such that you're trying to learn, find out if you like limited. If you discover that you love limited, it's really the best way to build your collection in Arena anyway, is to just, what you're going to want to do is focus your resources on drafting Eldraine and Theros, and you'll be set up to optimize your economics on this system. Yeah, we're going to bounce a potential blocker here. And then there's not much they can do. Let's bounce. We'll go ahead and bounce Rona here. And then we can follow within. Or maybe we can. We could just make a big Drake. Of course, they have the tools to double now, so yeah, we'll bounce so they can't double block. And I think we'll give we'll bounce. Although Acolyte really sets them back. I don't even care about Skin Witch at this point. If they spend their entire turn Skin Witching us, that's great. We can ditch Academy Drake, Arcanist, keep the Soul Salvage, and be fine. But I'm gonna send back the Windgrace Acolyte here. They do gain life. Yeah, I'll send Rona. This was 5 mana, they gain life. I don't know, there was a couple of different ways to go about that one, but I like this. Acolyte costs more, but it gets them life when they redeploy it. We can offer the Arcanist here, and if they want the Arcanist, that's fine. So I'm just going to offer the Arcanist. If they want to eat the Arcanist to take 9. All right. I think that's fine. And we'll go ahead and play the new Arcanist and save the Drake. Although we could hold. Yeah, I will hold in case of Skin Witch here, because I'd like to have the Soul Salvage if they do. I don't think they will, though. I don't think they have time for that. Like if they skin witch, we just win, right? So maybe I should have deployed the Arcanist, but I think it makes sense to hold some of our resources to try and just win with what we've got, and then recover if they come up with something here. Yeah, Drake as a 2/2 was also a possibility. I'm getting a little greedy with that, though. I think with their 2 flyers, it'd be nice to have a 4/4 flyer. Getting frisky here. If they're going to attack with 2 creatures, makes me wonder what they've got going on. Maybe a blink? I mean, that play suggests blink. Four, 5, 6, 7. True, we have Soul Salvage for the double block, which we kind of want anyway. If it's cast down, they get the Abomination. Basically, I think the Academy Drake, they clearly have a plan here, and hopefully the Academy Drake thwarts it. Yeah, kicked Offering. We'll see. Let's see what's up. Great play from Oppo to try and find a way to win this one. Really like they had a plan and they're executing it. We have the Drake to hopefully thwart it. They could still win here. One removal spell from Oppo or a bounce spell on the Drake, and we're donezo. We could play 2 creatures if we didn't make this a 4/4, but our threats are flyers anyway, so it doesn't matter. Salvage the Wizard. Oh, that would have been a good... Yeah, maybe if I salvage the Wizard, we still have a chance here. Great God if we took Great God's approach, we'd still be in this one. So good idea, Great God. I just didn't see it. We managed to win more than we lost, though, so not the worst. We'll take this prize. I like to do better in my Dominaria drafts in general than 4 wins, and honestly, had it there. If I take Great God's line, I think we end up winning that one, so too bad that we're not still playing this event. I think with better play, with that, if I had just seen that line, we'd still be playing. But I'm not too sad with the fun. It was a fun deck and a good 4 wins. We did get the bonus pack, and look at that. We're at 29,000 in gems, closing in on 30K. That would be another fun milestone to hit in terms of our gems. I think I'll do a couple more Crack-a-Packs before I get off the air, but I am going to be done drafting the day, and I'm going to go to soapbox mode. Thank you for hanging out. This is second to last Dominaria draft, I think. We'll do a Dominaria draft tomorrow. And then on Wednesday, we have the preview stream in which Wizards of the Coast sponsors a bunch of streamers like me with God accounts for the day. We only get them for 1 day, then they take them away from us, but we'll be able to play Endless Sealed all day long for as long as I can stand it on Wednesday, and I'm really looking forward to it. I love preview stream. I didn't get to do it last time for Throne of Eldraine because I had to take my daughter to college, but not so this time. We are going to get in on that on Wednesday, bright and early. So Wednesday, I'm going to be coming on an hour earlier than I usually do, and hopefully just get going right away. And I'll see you then for that, and tomorrow for more Dom, and thank you for hanging out. Bye.